Hey, it's me, Ball83, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Sakura Wars, So Long My Love. And last time we left off, Chincho was feeling rejected because nobody would give him a chance on being on the Star Division, mainly because he lacked the experience. And they were also expecting his uncle, Captain Ichiro Ogani. Now in this video, Chincho is going to try to prove himself, and the way he does that is, well, it's not weird, but it's not what I'm expecting either, but we'll get to that when we get to that. And now we at Commander Sunnyside's place, which is at the park, and Chincho's pretty much weirded out because for an American, he got a lot of Japanese stuff. As I mentioned in, I think, part 1, he's really into Japanese culture, so pretty much I guess a weeaboo, I suppose. I think otaku mainly focuses on anime and possibly manga. And pretty much one of these choices doesn't really matter. I think the first time I picked, what's the sort of Japanese stuff because, well, what's the sort of Japanese stuff? I forgot what answer he gave, but again, pretty much picking either one of those answers really doesn't matter. So pretty much Commander Sunnyside here is going to put him to work at the data as an usher. Not quite a member of the Star Division, not yet, but I guess this is the closest thing of Chincho gaining a shot to make it on the team. And that's pretty much sums it up. Now Chincho also going to have some other missions a little bit later on, and pretty much he's not really excited about being an usher because I guess it's kind of like the lowest form of employment, I guess, compared to everything else, I guess, working at a theater. And we also get to meet one of our future Playboy characters, not yet. That comes to chapter 4. This is Diane Caprice. As you can see here, she's on a wheelchair. Her disease is not really, Chincho says, what's wrong with her? I'm guessing she can't walk. I mean, wild guess here. Like I was saying, her disease is not really explained very well. They didn't really give it some kind of name, so it's pretty vague, and you could probably put the pieces of the puzzle together, but I don't know. But again, it explains a little bit more once we get to her chapter, but right now she's pretty much going to help Chincho get his confidence back by cheering him up. Let's see, I'm pretty sure you're able to hear the voice acting there. I forgot who does the voices for her. Next time I should probably, write a list of all the voice actors. I'm pretty sure some of you may recognize a few of them. I think that's probably the best answers you can give right there. I think that was my first choice. I believe I picked the top choice if my boss is mean to me. I'm not sure why I picked that one. I guess I just want to see her reaction to that, I suppose. Again, when playing this game multiple times, getting all the endings, you start getting a little bit curious and start to goof around a bit, which I will in this video. Diana is probably one of my least favorite characters. Not that I hate either one of them, but there's one specific reason why I'm not a huge fan of her. Again, we get to that when we get to a chapter. You can visit Diana like a few times and before we get to her chapter, but sometimes you gotta find her in the adventure mode when you walk around the city. She's usually there at the park, but you don't have to talk to her. It's just an easier way to get more karma points with her. I'm pretty sure somebody's going to correct me on that karma points thing. I'm pretty sure that's not the correct saying, but that's why I'm going to call it until somebody corrected me otherwise. And see, everybody else is still not really drawn. That Shincho is still there. And probably making fun of Shincho's usher status since, well, I guess an usher is pretty, well, a pretty low spot. I mean, for a job title, I guess. And then I picked the high road again. Try to keep the good attitude. Only really got that much karma points was carrying the last part. And yeah, that still creep me out every time I play that one. It's extremely up close, and I don't know. It's like something's not right there. I mean, yeah, definitely too close, but it still feel like it come out of nowhere, even though I know it's coming. Yeah, in this part we're gonna help Gemini Sunrise get ready for the theater. There's a big parade coming up, and first thing we're gonna do is clean out the whole building. I think in this part I picked the wrong answer here. Usually I say, you know, I love cleaning with you, or like I realized what I had to do. I think that's the first time I picked, but this one I decided to pick the dead one because I never picked that one. And if you saw in part 2, Gemini Sunrise is a jealous type, and of course you get that kind of reaction. I'm not sure if it got negative karma points there, or if it's just like a neutral reaction. See, Gemini is a jealous type, and it's kind of funny to get that kind of reaction from her. Yeah, I'm not really. I picked some bad choices in this part of the episode, so please forgive me. Even though I'm not particularly sorry, except for maybe one part. Okay, in this part, we get to explore around the rooftop garden a bit. Go to, which is the top of the Little Lip Theater building. You know, the place that has grass on top of it. And we pretty much gotta go to each spot and clean it up a bit. So let's go here in the little gazebo thing. We meet up with Subaru and we get to know a little bit about him / her. Again, that's kind of kept a secret, and well, it's not hard to figure out what gender Subaru is, but I'm going to keep it a secret. Well, technically it's not stated as fact, but just like one little hint that kind of reveals it. But to be fair, it could have been like a localization mistake. But Shincho seems like he refers Subaru as a she, so. But still, they kind of like got in the back of their head, like, is that a she? Which is again result to a hilarious conversation. And we see Mr. Wong here. He's pretty much Commander Certified Assistant, which you saw earlier in the video, and plus the main mechanic. Let's see. Now the heart springs, you know, you can imagine you can get out of trouble here, and well, get into fun situation. Let's put it that way. Pretty much in this part, we made it here before Karen was able to go in. But, well, you'll see later on. Let's see, I think I picked the first one. Was it? Yeah, the first one. This is all pre-recorded, if you're wondering. I wish I had the a proper device that I can record. I mean, that I can record my audio while I'm recording the game itself. But unfortunately, one of my USB drivers is broken, so therefore I have to record the footage first and then record the audio after it. Shinjo, I mean, Karen pretty much got Shinjo to take his shirt off and make him show his body. Again, games are pretty weird. And you can get into real situations just by picking the wrong dialogue. In this part, we get another talking scene examination. Clearly, there's something wrong with Rachel Arter, something's bothering her, and we're going to figure that out in the next part. But right now, let's see what we can get so far without spoiling anything. I think in this part, she's pretty much downing herself as a captain, and well, we're gonna pick the suck-up response and say, "Oh, you are pretty great." I think the first time playing this, I picked maybe I should be the captain. I'm not sure why. Yeah, if you point the screen to the edge of the or just if you're on sorry about that. If you point the cursor to the edge of the screen, you can leave the conversation and pretty much continue on to the game there. Again, I think we may just talk to her, and well, that's pretty much it. I think this part I go back to the hot spring. Pretty much nobody's there right now, but Shinjo is noting that the boards keep falling off and he wants to fix it before anybody comes in. And of course, in typical anime fashion, somebody's going to be walking in. Karen Archer again. And pretty much every chapter, but yeah, I decided to have a little fun here. Again, when you play this game multiple times, you start, experimenting a bit. And pretty much Shinjo pretty much give you hints like, oh, you shouldn't do that. But we're gonna stay hidden, because again, well, I can't really say I took the high road there, but we're not going to the lowest of roads. So pretty much I guess I backed out there, I suppose. So I guess sorry for not and well, Gemini usually come to the last place you're at, and happens to be the hot spring at this point. Kind of funny that she questioned, hey, Karen came out, how come you're in there? But I guess you can't have every dialogue. That would take up too much time and effort, I suppose. And now at this point, we're pretty much going to clean the room, and you gotta pretty much listen to the specific order that Journey Sunrise says. So first we gotta sweep the floor with the broom. That little gauge thing around Journey Sunrise is a timer. In this part, you don't really have to rush it. There's just pretty much 3 choices, and you need to pick the right order. So again, no rush. But later on, that time limit's gonna become pretty important. Again, not something that you need to rush through, but not necessarily something you need to take your time on. And well, yeah, right, Gemini. It's, I guess it could have phrased it better. Then again, it's probably just me having my mind in together. But it's pretty much give Gemini a towel. Let's see. I think this is the second to last wrong choice. Well, that wasn't a wrong choice. I think I have like one more wrong choice that I pick, and that's near the end of this part. And well, right now we got another mission, which is handing out flyers throughout the town. This year we get to walk around the city in the theater. Though, if you want to hand out flyers, you don't hand them out in the theater. First, we're going to Midtown, and well, I thought there were probably some people outside in the apartments to hang out, but apparently that's not the case. And right now we get to see Subaru. Sometimes you get to see characters outside, and you can go up to talk to them in that location that they are. And we find out that Subaru lives in a 5-star hotel. I think it'd be better to live in, like, you know, their own private home, considering that Subaru is, I'm assuming she's rich since she's live in a 5-star hotel. I'm not sure if that's paid by the Imperial Assault Force or just by the money she makes from being an actress. Right now, it's obviously to tell that Subaru wants some time to herself, or himself, maybe. And that's pretty much the right answer. Yeah, right now Subaru is pretty defensive, and in her chapter we get to knock down that barrier and we reach to another good place that we can hand out flyers, since that part of the building is pretty popular. And we get to see Cherry and Audrey again. Audrey still being her shy self. I guess it's not really much about as Helga Pataki that I thought she was. I mean, she's not that mean by calling him names. Well, she does call him names, which you'll find out later on in this video, but I guess she's not that much of a Helga Pataki. For those who don't know who Helga Pataki is, says look up Hey Arnold, and you'll pretty much figure out that. And that's pretty much it right there. So let's go to the village. Usually the good part of the village to hand out flyers is the grocery store right here, and where the second part we're going to talk about later on. I'm not sure if we talked to anybody in the crew over here. Again, Maggie's grocery store is not really the best part to go to, at least not the early part of the games yet. But in Summer Cafe, we get to meet up with Karen Archer again, who is just having I guess a business meeting / dinner. And we get a little dialogue from the New York citizens over there. One of those guys is a mob member, I believe the guy in the purple, and we won't figure that out until chapter 2. I think the first time I played that, I picked the stop this at once. I think the hey knock it off was an exclamation point, and I thought that'd be too emotional, I suppose. But apparently this one's the right one. I'm not sure. I gotta look back and pretty much read that sentence, and Shinjo's facial reaction also play a small factor to it, though it's not really that important to pay attention to Shinjo's facial reaction on the bottom left screen, except for one particular part which I might get to, and now since it's I think 7 o'clock in this game that we were forced to go back and meet up with Gemini once more, and we end up handing out all the flyers, which impresses Gemini Sunrise. That Gemini Sunrise is one of the characters that's easily impressed, especially in this chapter. And right now we're going to turn the lights on, and well, there's a slight problem with that. But Gemini has an idea, and I guess go to the circuit breaker upstairs. I'm not really sure that walking animation is necessary. They could just cut that part out and, you know, pretty much put us right there. But I guess they want us to know, to familiarize ourselves with the pretty much the data, the help world, pretty much. And Gemini Sunrise is not very good with machines, where in this case right here and later on in the game. Man, I kind of spoiling the game a little bit. I mean, nothing major, but I don't know. It's a good game. It's sometimes it's hard to keep those secrets, even if it's minor secrets, to myself. But I try not to spoil anything major. And it seems like that pretty much Karen, and well, to a certain extent, Subaru's mad at Gemini since she's always keep on messing up around the theater. Though this is the first time that we get to see that. And right now we're getting some good combo points with Karen. At first it was kind of difficult to figure out, but excuse me, but you know, once you play this game multiple times, you can figure out, you know, which answer is best. And Subaru, again, one of the most awesome character, always know what to do. And I find it kind of weird that Shinjiro is not good enough to be, you know, part of the Star Division crew, but they expect him to pretty much fix all this mess that, well, that, let's be honest, Gemini Sunrise caused. And again, if you're a fan of Raven for Teen Titan, you'd probably be a bit of a fan of Subaru as well, since those two, well, those two kind of reminds me of, you know, each other. And you see Ratchet Altair starting to believe in Shinjiro, and that will eventually pay off in part 3. And we get a little tutorial over here. Now this part, I'm playing the Wii version. If you're using the remote and nunchuck, you pretty much gotta use the D-pad on the right one, which can be awkward. Now right now it's just pointing up and down, which it's not bad, but in the next part you're about to see, you gotta rotate. So I recommend using the classic controller when playing the adventure mode. And I guess the battle mode too, just doesn't want with that. It says that the controller layout is they use the controller layout for the remote rather than the classic controller, so it can be a bit confusing. But again, classic controller I recommend for this one, especially with this little mini game right there that you just saw. And right now we got the lights up, but we still need to do one more thing before we can actually fix the problem, because the steam tanks can only last for like a few minutes. and the show's about to start, so that's adding more drama to it. Okay, see, you gotta rotate now. For the left one, it's not too bad, and you pretty much gotta fill that gauge up really fast. Though it's not the case for every time, but in this case, you need to fill that gauge up as fast as you can. And now we got the third part, which this is probably the most I guess boring and simple, because you know, it's just moving the control stick to the proper direction, and it's really not much to talk about there. And again, Gemini Sunlight is easily impressed. I would say unlike the other crew member, but well, you'll see later on. And for some reason that didn't work, even though we did it perfectly. I did all the mini parts perfect, but figured out that they accidentally I'm sorry, I just saw Gemini say "oh poop." I don't know why that cracked me up, but pretty much we got the main switch off, and we need to render, which doing this on the classic controller is still pretty awkward. Now that one I got that pretty easily, but every other time I failed to fill that gauge up, which you don't have to fill the gauge up completely, you just need to fill enough just to pass it, which isn't hard to do. And pretty much we gotta flip the switcher up, and for some reason they like to slow down that little bar thing going up, I guess to make it more dramatic, I suppose. And we are able to save the show there. This is the same prey that we saw in the last part, by the looks of it. And Gemini's trying to take some of the credit, even though she A, caused the problem, and B, didn't really do anything. I mean, if anybody deserves credit, it's Subaru for coming up with the idea. But, you know, we let it slide because, well, we're a nice person, I suppose. Even though we do get an opportunity to call it out on that. Like, now that the show is over, we're on our way back home to the apartment. But, you know, Gemini Sunrise wants to talk a bit and walk home together. You know what, I'm now kind of regretting, you know, saying that Diana was the only nice person there. Gemini's been pretty nice so far. And again, I was tempted to pick that dead answer, but, you know, again, decided to take the high road here. And again, she's a pretty big fan of samurai, and her backstory will reveal why, pretty much. And, well, asking for training, you know, first time playing through this, you know, it's like an, oh, okay, you know, she wants to become a better fighter, but, you know, later on in the story, that becomes, well, a bit questionable. But, you know, we'll get to that when we get to that. And I'm pretty sure I said that phrase like about 5 or 6 times by now in this video. And I'm pretty sure I said it like 5 or 6 more times in the other 2 videos. And pretty much we're inside Gemini's apartment, and we get to examine her room pretty much. Now there's not really much to examine there, though it doesn't really take a long time for this segment to end. The one thing I don't really like about this, sometimes you gotta click the object 2 times just to engage a conversation with somebody. I don't know, it's like, I feel like they could have just made it like 1 time, or, you know, turn into a multiple choice if you want to, you know, I guess, continue a conversation or engage one. Now, I think that one I only pressed 1 time. And, well, we're about to meet Gemini's Sunrise friend. Tempted to walk out there, but we're gonna press the toaster. Well, Chenshiro doesn't know what it is, but we're gonna press the button anyway. Yeah, again, this part is pretty boring. It gets kind of better later on, but for right now, it's like, I guess this part's supposed to reveal more of the you know, try to develop the character between Shinjiro and the character that he's hanging out with, in this case Gemini's Sunrise, and we get to meet Gemini's best friend, a horse named Larry.
This is Larry, my best buddy in the whole wide world.
I have no idea how you get a horse in an apartment. I'm pretty sure you're asking that same question yourself, but again, video game logic, I suppose. And I guess, well, main anime logic in this case. I don't know, I think the first time either the first or second time I played this, I think I picked why do you keep a horse in there? And I think Larry got insulted. It was either that one or Nay. It'd be a lot funny if it was if you said Nay and the horse got insulted by it. Yeah, maybe next time if I decided to let's play this game again. Oh yeah, I don't think I mentioned it in. I know I didn't mention it in part 2. And probably not in part 1 either, but there's actually a prequel to this game that's only available in Japan that pretty much explains Gemini's Sunrise backstory. I saw some gameplay footage on there and it looks pretty interesting, and I wish there was a release in America, but unfortunately not the case there. And I think there's I'll tell you about that, my screen shaver came up, but we got an emergency call again. There's robots attacking on Liberty Island, Statue of Liberty. And for some reason they want to go back to the theater, even though neither one of them is part of Star Division. Well, scratch that. Shinjiro is now coming to the mission. Oops. Sorry about that. Not sure if you heard that or not. I accidentally hit my mic. But now we gain a lot of trust with Ratchet Altair at least. And all we have to do is pretty much turn on a light switch. So yeah, they are hard to impress and easy to impress at the same time, I suppose. Again, video game anime logic, I suppose.
I can't believe how much you've grown these past 2 days.
this game requires, a lot of suspicion of belief here. But again, it's still a pretty good game and it's very enjoyable. I really recommend picking up this game if you can be able to find a copy. It's also available on the PlayStation 2. And I think we get another cutscene here. Yeah, there we go. Not sure why it took a while to load up. Now you see this cutscene with, added footage, like every chapter. Pretty much an anime thing that they like to reuse. And they're pretty much getting ready for battle. Though I'm not sure why you want to, show that. I mean, they don't really reveal much, but at the same time, it's like, why? I mean, I get, this fan service there, but at the same time, it's like, not really a point there. Now you see Karen Archer, well, especially Karen Archer, still don't trust Shinjiro. Well, more specifically, doesn't believe that he's experienced enough to join the battle. Which, I guess, how you get experience if, I mean, considering Shinjiro, went to school, trained with the Imperial Assault Force. But still, that's not enough, I suppose. Subaru is a bit more trusting. Offer like backhanded compliments. There's a funny one coming up a little bit later on. And I think this part we get to talk about our giant robot things that we get to fight in. In part 4 we actually get some actual gameplay. Again, if you don't enjoy the stories and multiple choice playthroughs here, you're probably not going to enjoy this game. But if you enjoy this kind of game, then you're most likely going to enjoy it as much as I did. Hopefully, at least. Now this part it's not easy to skip. I mean, you can probably fast forward the conversation, but for the sake of this let's play, I don't want to rush things too much. I want you to be able to keep up with the story, and I don't want to, read every dialogue because, well, A, I think there's voice acting here, and B, well, I got the audio off for the gameplay in case you're wondering. I don't want the audio to pick up on the mic where it sounds like it's double audio. Now right there you gotta pick like at least one of those three. You can end up picking all three of them, but for this one I picked this one to explain, what a star is, which is pretty much a mech that you battle in. And then I just pretty much leave the conversation because, it's just talking about, the enemy and I think the bosses. Excuse me. I should have bought a bottle of water here. It's a 40-minute video, but I don't know what I'm thinking. But pretty much you can ask about the robot mission, which, it's not pretty hard to figure out. So let's just move on from there. And find out that Sherry and Audrey are part of the team too. They do recon and help give you hints on how to defeat the enemies. They pretty much part of the Rainbow Division. And you know what? Let's end it on a high note and pick the wrong answer. At least with Audrey it's wrong, but with Sherry it's hilarious and right. Oh man, I'm a terrible person. Yeah, Audrey didn't like that answer, but Cherry,
Now is
you
the
know,
time.
likes to play along.
All the world's a stage, and it's showtime.
And I think the best part is just a giant cutscene I made, or that this one part where Subaru give the best backhanded compliment ever. But first we gotta. Again, I'm so tempted to pick the wrong choice. One day I should pick the dead answer, you know, just to see the response. Again, it's like you play this game so long, you start getting curious.
You're still not one of us as far as I'm concerned.
Cameron's still in disbelief.
Just don't get in Subaru's way.
All right, everyone. Let's
Alright, I think we passed up the backhanded compliment part. For those who are wondering, I'll get a cutscene. But those who are wondering about Subaru's backhanded compliment, is pretty much like, I don't think he caused us any trouble if he tried.
copy that, Shinjiro.
I find that pretty hilarious.
Car is ready. Please stand by.
And I think there's like a few more throughout this throughout the game. And we see this awesome cutscene, a little bit of CG, I think, especially with the mechs and the machineries. Again, this usually plays like every time you're about to go into battle. You can skip it if you want. I'm just showing it here so I can see what it's like. And I'm probably gonna show it with the new characters that becomes playable, but you know, skip the part that you already saw.
Say when.
You know, to reduce the time. I don't want to make it like a 40-minute video every time. I think it's gonna be an average of 30 minutes if I don't, you know, take my sweet time. But again, you know, these videos gonna be long and gonna make it hard to upload it on YouTube. I think the part 2 one took like about like a few hours just to upload it. And that's not counting the times that it froze and I need to restart. So pretty much I want to try to avoid 40 minutes episode as much as I can. Yeah, so there's pretty much nothing else to say. This is getting ready to battle. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. And pretty much I hope you tune in to my other videos. I'm hoping to get the next retrospective review out. For those wondering, it's Donkey Kong Country 3, the Super Nintendo game that's part of this retrospective series. I'm still writing the script, but I hopefully should have it out by next week. Hopefully. And we see here New York is getting destroyed. Seriously, it seems a bit over the top. A bit over the top. Oh, sorry about that. It's just like, it's pretty amazing, but again, like, how many citizens were killed on that? There's gotta be some. I mean, I'm assuming most of them are inside because, you know, there's an attack on the Statue of Liberty. But, you know, it's still a pretty awesome scene anyways. And I think that's pretty much the end of the cutscene right there. Again, this is me, Bobber33, and I catch you guys later. See you next time.